What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Church Guys Like Sports. Need you to tune in right now. If you love sports, this is your show today. Come on, tune on in. Church guys like sports. Church girls like sports. My sports fans at Sister Felicia Evans, God bless you, First Lady. Cake delivering, boiler fixing master. All right, y'all, we here. We getting ready to get into it. I need all the sports fans to jump on real quick. We got some big time sports to talk about. Samara, the only Cam Newton fan in the world. Mike Miller, praying for you with your second shot. That should be it for you. Tony Jackson. Yes. I saw that.
Come on, I need you to jump on your feet and help me say, we Lord of the glory.
We getting ready for All-Star Weekend, y'all. All right, we getting right into the sports talk. Listen, shout out to Miles Powell, who was the Big East Player of the Year. He was with the Knicks. But they didn't let him stay on the team. But I still believe he's gonna be real good. He's actually related to one of our sisters at the church, Sister Darcia Pickett, and he's related to the Pickett family in some form of way down there in Jersey. And he's got picked up by the Milwaukee Bucks. So shout out to Miles Powell. All right. And listen, we got some sports to talk about. And thank God, you know, I got a friend, one of my pastor friends, good friend of mine, Pastor Omar Evans, good friend of mine. And born and raised in New York, Albany to be exact. And I'm thinking he would be a Giant fan, maybe a Jet fan. But this man is born, and I told him I was going to get here. I told him I'm going to get him. L Boogie, what up? This man was born and raised in New York, and he is a Dallas Cowboy fan. He is a Dallas Cowboy fan. Now, even worse than that, his wife, who is my sister, Sister Felicia, he has made his whole household, his kids, his wife, everybody has to be Cowboy fans. He's made all of them Cowboy fans. He says a house divided will not stand. How can you be from New York, born and raised, and be a Dallas Cowboy fan? Now I got Sean Hatcher on here, and he's from New York, Long Island's finest. But he's a Philadelphia Eagle fan. And I'm a firm believer that when you married, you got to be on one accord. But you can't make your whole house. I wish I had the power to make my whole house Knicks fans. Can't nobody stand the Knicks in this house but me. It's hardly a handful of folks in my church that like the Knicks. A handful of folks in New York that still like the Knicks. I wish I could make them all Knicks fans, but they don't. They don't want to do it. And you gonna make your wife a Dallas Cowboy fan. You gonna make them children Dallas Cowboy fans. And I can see it, the Cowboys been winning. But let me tell y'all about these Dallas Cowboys. They ain't won nothing since the 90s. And I am saying it right here on Church Guys Like Sports 2. The Cowboys are no longer America's team. All right? You can't make your spouse like the team you like. You can't make your wife who's from New York be a Cowboy fan. I got a couple in my church. She's a Giant fan and he's a Cowboy fan. That Brother Fisher, Minister Fisher, and brother and sister Fisher, she likes the Giants and he likes the Cowboys. And I don't think he gonna persuade her to like the Cowboys. I don't think she gonna persuade him to like the Giants. That's just what it's gonna be. It's gonna be war, especially when they play each other. All right, that's what makes it exciting. My wife, don't like none of the teams I like. I like the Knicks. Anybody who's playing the Knicks, she like. Anybody who can beat the Knicks, she'll like. So, and I told Pastor Evans I'm gonna get him. He made his whole household Dallas Cowboy fan. Don't be putting these, kids. And my brother did something so mean to me when my daughter was born. My brother Donnie went and bought a Chicago Bulls jersey for her. Bought her a little Chicago Bulls jersey, and knowing I'm a Knicks fan. But I can't throw it out because he bought it for his niece. So I had to reluctantly put a Chicago Bulls jersey on my daughter. And it had a little bib that said Chicago Bulls. But I got him back. When his twins were born, I bought them twin John Stark jerseys. How about that? And all these folks on here talking about y'all Cowboy fans, y'all don't live in Dallas. If you want to be a Cowboy fan, go on out there to Dallas. Minister Fisher said his wife will eventually be a Dallas Cowboy fan. I don't believe it. Born and raised in New York. No. So while we talking about that, shout out to the NFL. I am so excited about this. The NFL yesterday has hired their first black female referee. Oh, you didn't hear me. I said the NFL has hired their first black female referee. Her name is Maya Shaka. That's her name. And you can't get no more blacker than that. Her name ain't Susan or Amber or one of them names that you got to guess what it is. Her name is Maya Shaka. And she is an NFL referee. All right. So shout out to that. That's historic. That is a major accomplishment for black women. To have a female referee for women is good, but a black woman to be a referee in the NFL, National Football League, and she got one of them Coming to America names, Shaka, Maya Shaka. She black with a ponytail like us. I mean, she's black. And that's an amazing accomplishment. Shout out to, because the NFL is the good old boys league. The NFL is full of white billionaire owners. And when we get our foot in the door like that, that's amazing. The sad thing, the NFL been around for 60, 70, a whole long time. Sad thing is this is just now happening. Now, we're excited that it happened, but there shouldn't be no first black thing and nothing in 2021. This stuff should have been happening. But we take what we can get when we can get it. And now that we got our foot in the door, we're going to work it. Now, while I'm talking about the NFL, I'm going to just make a shout out to J.J. Watts. J.J. Watts went to the Arizona Cardinals. This is your news. This is your church guys and church girls like sports. And I'm going to leave the NFL alone with that because I got something very important to get to with the WNBA. And I'm going there right now. I'm going to talk about the WNBA. And this is Welcome to Church Guys Like Sports, a show where we talk sports and we talk and we love God, but we're going to talk what some other folks won't talk about. So with the WNBA, I have to bring this to your knowledge. And it's two things that I'm talking about women's basketball. There was a coach that got fired. I believe it was high school. A female basketball coach got fired because his team beat the other team 160-2. All right? His team beat the other team by 160 points. And I am utterly shocked that a coach can get fired for winning. If you're going to fire anybody, fire the coach. That team only scored 2 points. Don't fire the man. We play the game to win. That's what they taught me when I was in high school. We play the game to win. And he got fired because his team whipped them so bad. They said, "Oh, you can't do that. You should have took your foot off the gas." No, this is competition. It's still, everybody want to be nice and stuff. No, this is competition. And listen, that other coach should have been fired, not this guy. And they suspended him. They didn't fire him, but they suspended him. So now we get to the WNBA. And this is what I want to talk about. There's been a WNBA player that has come out and said her name is Candace Wiggins. And Candace Wiggins is a WNBA basketball player, and she was bullied. She was bullied in the WNBA because she was not a lesbian. Oh, come in. Oh, come on here. She was a number 3 pick in the draft and had to retire at the age of 29. And she said in her 8-year career in the WNBA, she was bullied because she was heterosexual. Because 97% of the WNBA are lesbians. Oh, you see, they ain't going to talk about this on ESPN. They ain't going to talk about this on Fox Sports or CNN. I'm going to talk about it. 97% of the WNBA are lesbian women. Some of them are dating each other. Some of them are married to each other. And this one woman that's doing life the way it's supposed to be done according to the word of God, that got a husband and got children, that's heterosexual and not into the lesbian stuff, they bullied her out of the league. And nobody talked about it. So only 3% of the WNBA, which is a handful of players, are heterosexual. And now the WNBA, a lot of people don't know this, but the WNBA is struggling to make ends meet. They are thinking about doing away with the WNBA. And it's sad. You know why? Those are some very talented basketball players. I am an advocate for female basketball. My daughter is a college basketball athlete. But they push the agenda. They push another agenda other than basketball. They push the lesbian agenda, and 97%, Fisher, they push the lesbian agenda. And if you have fathers like me that have daughters that want to play, we are not going to support that because we don't want to push our daughters into a lesbian atmosphere, making up the only way you can play basketball in the WNBA is if you're a lesbian. And that is what we call reverse discrimination. Because I guarantee you, if people were bullying them out the way, if the lesbian community was going through that, they'll be marching all up and down Fifth Avenue. I guarantee you, if the lesbian community they were going through that and they were getting bullied out of the league, they'll be marching all up and down Madison Square Garden. So anything like this, don't expect it to be flourishing. That's why the millions of dollars is not getting pumped in to the WNBA. Now, back in the day when it first started in the late 90s, early 2000s, when you had Lisa Leslie's and you had Teresa Weatherspoons and all. Now, Teresa Weatherspoon, that's my sister. That's my homegirl. I could call her right now. I could add her on right now. That's my homegirl. But she might have something on her. She might be dealing with that too. But she's not pushing the agenda and bullying heterosexuals out. There is a problem when I'm living right and you push me out. There is a problem when because I'm not gay, you push me out. Now we really deal with this gospel music community. There are some people in the gospel music community that won't play your records unless you funny bunny. And I ain't gonna deal with that. But welcome to church guys like sports too. You know, Dave Wright ain't bending over for nobody. You hear me? If you either gonna play it because you like the music, you ain't gonna play it for no other reason. No. It is extremely corrupt and out of order. And her name is Candace Wiggins. And when you get over here, I want you to go look it up. Candace Wiggins was bullied out of the WNBA because she was not a lesbian. Not a lesbian. What a shame. We ought to march for her. We ought to do something. We ought to go down there because that LGBTQB thing, them folks, they don't mind marching. They don't mind. They'll march and they get stuff done. But when we gonna start getting stuff done for the right folks? When we gonna start getting stuff done for the people that doing it right? And it is unfair. Candace Wiggins, I'm in your corner. Church guys like sports too. Church girls like sports too. We are in your corner. All right. So that's that. Now, All-Star Weekend is going on, and shout out to the NBA players, but this is a different kind of All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend this year is only going to be one day. They're going to do the slam dunk championship, 3-point, all that stuff in one day, according to my sources. And it is reported to me that the slam dunk contest will be done at halftime of the All-Star game. I never seen nothing like that, but that's what they're doing. They're doing it. And I got my boy, Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin is going to win the slam dunk contest. Book it from the New York Knicks. Obi Toppin will win the slam dunk contest. And in case y'all think I'm making this up, let me see where you at. Yeah, and the 3-point contest, I'm excited about the 3-point contest. And Steph Curry is in the 3-point contest. Amazing. And I think, because Steph Curry, I seen Steph Curry hit 50 straight 3-pointers. I seen him do it. And Steph Curry is that dude. There has never been a shooter as good as Stephen Curry. I don't care how you slice it. Steph Curry is the best shooter of all time. So I think the All-Star game going to be good. It's going to be a little weird, everything being done in one day. You know, I'm used to, you know, they usually have the celebrity game and all of this stuff like that. But that stuff can't go on this time. And the All-Star game is in Atlanta. So they already put the word out to Dwight Howard and his friends that there will be no extracurricular activities. There will not be no parties. There will not be any of that extra stuff, Dwight Howard. Because we know Dwight Howard like to do all that stuff. But no, Dwight Howard, we're going to play the game, and that's going to be it. That's going to be all she wrote.
Befuddled and baffled all at the same time, but
this is Candace Wiggins' interview. Candace Wiggins.
Why concerned?
Concerned because the comments that she was making, the allegations were rather inflammatory, and she did rather put all of us in a box and created a stereotype that is very unpleasant in the eyes of the players that are still playing and former players that have moved on.
And Michelle, what's been the reaction of players across the league?
I think they're really baffled, I think is a good way to describe it, because what Candace said initially, which was in a one-source story in the San Diego newspaper, the newspaper wasn't quoting any other player, past or present, she said this was a culture in the league and made very sweeping statements about the entire league, not just her experiences. Now she's backed that off a little bit to say, oh, this is how I perceive things. But I think all the players are saying, look, if you're saying this is a culture, this is something that it happens to everybody in the league or is league-wide all the time, that's something they, want to comment on, because all the people that I've talked to said that hasn't been their experience.
Has anyone demanded an apology?
I think there's been different blogs that players have.
Now they demand that Candace Wiggins apologizes for her statement, but she's standing strong. She said, I'm not apologizing because that's what I experienced. You see, that's why you got shows like Church Guys Like Sports too, because, I'm not on the major network, but I'm going to tell it like it is. They pushed that girl out because she's not a lesbian. It's a shame. It is a shame, but they'll watch this. They'll let a man that thinks he's a woman, they'll let him play female basketball. This is crazy. What kind of world we living in? All right. I thank you for joining Church Guys Like Sports too. But again, I got the East going to win. I think the East going to win the All-Star game. The New York Knicks have an all-star. We got Julius Randle up in there. Julius Randle going to get the MVP. Julius Randle will get MVP of the All-Star game, I hope. All right, thank y'all for tuning in. And I got a YouTube channel, man. Y'all can go to my YouTube channel, type in Church Guys Like Sports, and you'll see it there. Go to YouTube, and I want you to subscribe. Church Guys Like Sports. We got episodes for the last 3 years. I'm going on 3 years with it now, y'all. Peace out. Much love. Remember, you can love God and love sport. Peace.
New York got the bright lights, big city of dreams and the nightlife. It's the concrete jungle, now we know it. That's why it's cool to spring New York Knicks. 1973 was the last year. We brought a championship ring here. Lift your hands, Knicks fans. You now have a right to go.
Hold on, I almost ate this banana on camera. We eat real men don't eat bananas like some of them folks. If you gonna eat a banana, eat it right. You chop that thing up.
Some doubters, some laugh at us, some went to Brooklyn, some went.
You don't put this whole thing down your throat. The devil is a liar, not no real man. Ha!
Shout out to Coach Tibbs and KP. Not the unicorn, but the man from Kentucky. Got Julius playing like a North Star. He the truth and ain't no stopping, no top. IQ, gonna have to guard and going crazy. Every night the kid never ceased to amaze me. K Knox, he work around the clock. Keep going, little bro, you gon' get your shot. Gotta make you know well at the 5. Throw it up, Peyton, and watch out for the lie.